Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something that's silently shaping the future of AI, and it's something most people aren't even aware of: the hidden assumptions baked into US AI policy. Are these assumptions setting us up for failure? Could they be handing a competitive advantage to other nations? That's what we're going to unravel today. Buckle up, because this is going to challenge everything you thought you knew about AI strategy. I'm talking about potentially catastrophic oversights that could leave the US playing catch-up in the most important technological race of our time. The scary part? We might not even realize we're losing until it's too late. Now, I know that sounds dramatic, but stick with me. We're going to expose the elephant in the room, and more importantly, what we can do about it. So, what's the news that sparked this deep dive? Well, it's not one specific headline, but rather a growing unease among experts about the underlying premises guiding US AI policy. There's a subtle but pervasive narrative that often goes unchallenged: the idea that open innovation, unfettered data access, and a purely market-driven approach will automatically lead to US dominance in AI. But is that really true? Are we blindly following a path that looks good on paper, but is actually riddled with pitfalls? The Rhodium Group, for example, specializes in data-driven analysis of China's economy and policy. Their insights suggest that China's approach to AI development, while different, is incredibly strategic and well-funded. We need to understand what they're doing right, and more importantly, what we're doing wrong. This isn't about fear-mongering. It's about having a clear-eyed view of the global AI landscape. Let's break down the first dangerous assumption: that open innovation is always the best approach. The US has traditionally championed open-source development and the free flow of information. While these principles have fueled incredible innovation, they also create vulnerabilities. Think about it. Open-source models can be easily copied and adapted by competitors, including those with state-sponsored backing. China, for example, leverages open-source models but also invests heavily in proprietary AI technologies. They're playing both sides of the field. We need to ask ourselves, are we being strategically outmaneuvered by clinging too tightly to a single approach? Imagine investing billions in developing a groundbreaking AI model, only to see it replicated and used against us within months. That's a real possibility, and it's something we need to address. This isn't about abandoning open innovation entirely, but about finding a smarter, more balanced approach. Think about hybrid models, combining open-source components with proprietary innovations. The key is strategic differentiation, not blind adherence to ideology. The second flawed assumption is that unfettered data access is essential for AI development. The US has a relatively liberal data privacy regime compared to other countries. This means that AI companies have access to vast amounts of data, which can be used to train their models. However, this also creates significant privacy risks and potential for misuse. Moreover, it doesn't guarantee a competitive advantage. China, for example, has access to an even larger pool of data, often collected with far fewer restrictions. They're using this data to build AI systems that are specifically tailored to their needs and priorities. Are we sacrificing privacy and security for a marginal edge in AI development? I'm not saying we should completely shut down data access, but we need to have a serious conversation about data governance and responsible AI development. We need to find a way to balance innovation with ethical considerations and national security concerns. Think about federated learning, where AI models are trained on decentralized data sources without directly accessing the raw data itself. That's one potential solution, but we need to explore many more. The third, and perhaps most dangerous, assumption is that a purely market-driven approach will ensure US leadership in AI. The US relies heavily on private companies to drive AI innovation. While this has led to incredible progress, it also creates a potential for short-sighted decision-making and a lack of strategic coordination. China, on the other hand, has a much more centralized approach, with the government playing a leading role in setting priorities and allocating resources. They're investing heavily in areas like AI chips and fundamental research, which are crucial for long-term competitiveness. Are we ceding ground to China by relying too heavily on the private sector? I'm not advocating for a complete government takeover of AI development, but we need to find a better balance between public and private investment. We need to support basic research, foster collaboration between universities and industry, and develop a national AI strategy that aligns with our long-term goals. Think about DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, which has played a crucial role in funding groundbreaking technologies. We need a similar effort focused specifically on AI, with a clear mandate to address our strategic vulnerabilities. Now, let's dive into some technical terms that are crucial to understanding this issue. First up, algorithmic bias. This refers to the systematic and repeatable errors in a computer system that create unfair outcomes, such as privileging one arbitrary group of users over others. Algorithmic bias is a huge problem in AI because AI systems are trained on data, and if that data reflects existing biases in society, the AI system will perpetuate those biases. For example, if an AI system is trained on data that primarily features men in leadership roles, it may be less likely to identify qualified women for those same roles. This isn't just a theoretical problem, it has real-world consequences. Algorithmic bias can lead to discrimination in hiring, lending, and even criminal justice. We need to develop techniques for detecting and mitigating algorithmic bias, and we need to ensure that AI systems are used in a fair and equitable way. Next up, explainable AI, or XAI. This refers to AI systems that are designed to be transparent and understandable. In other words, we can understand how the AI system arrived at its decision. This is important because it allows us to identify and correct errors, and it also builds trust in AI systems. Imagine an AI system that denies someone a loan. If the system is explainable, we can understand why the loan was denied, and we can determine whether the decision was based on legitimate factors or on bias. XAI is a crucial area of research, and it's essential for ensuring that AI systems are used responsibly. We need to invest in developing XAI techniques, and we need to require that AI systems used in critical applications are explainable. Finally, let's talk about adversarial attacks. This refers to techniques used to fool AI systems by feeding them carefully crafted inputs that cause them to make mistakes. For example, an adversarial attack could involve adding a small amount of noise to an image that causes an AI system to misclassify it. Adversarial attacks are a serious threat to the security and reliability of AI systems. They can be used to bypass security measures, disrupt critical infrastructure, and even cause physical harm. We need to develop robust defenses against adversarial attacks, and we need to ensure that AI systems are resilient to these types of attacks. This requires a multifaceted approach, including developing more robust AI algorithms, improving data security, and implementing rigorous testing procedures. Let's consider a relevant research paper. A recent publication titled Concrete Problems in AI Safety by Amade et al. Highlights several key challenges in ensuring the safe and beneficial development of AI. The paper discusses issues like avoiding negative side effects, reward hacking, and scalable oversight. These are all critical considerations for AI policy. The paper emphasizes the need for proactive research into AI safety, rather than waiting for problems to arise. It argues that we need to develop techniques for aligning AI goals with human values, and for ensuring that AI systems are robust and reliable. This research provides a valuable framework for thinking about the potential risks of AI, and it underscores the importance of addressing these risks proactively. It's a must-read for anyone interested in AI policy and safety. Now, let's look at some contrasting viewpoints. One perspective argues that openness is the key to fostering innovation and ensuring that AI benefits everyone. Proponents of this view believe that open-source development and the free flow of information will lead to faster progress and more equitable outcomes. They argue that restrictions on data access and government control will stifle innovation and create a competitive disadvantage. They might point to the success of the open-source software movement as evidence that openness is the best approach. They'd argue that competition will naturally drive innovation and that the best AI systems will emerge from a free and open market. They might also argue that concerns about security and bias are overblown and that these issues can be addressed through technical solutions and ethical guidelines. On the other hand, another perspective argues that strategic protectionism is necessary to protect national security and ensure that the U.S. maintains its technological edge. Proponents of this view believe that the U.S. needs to take a more assertive approach to AI policy, including restricting data access, controlling exports of AI technology, and investing heavily in domestic AI development. They argue that China's centralized approach to AI development gives it a significant competitive advantage and that the U.S. needs to respond in kind. They might point to the success of the U.S. defense industry as evidence that government support and protectionism can foster innovation in strategic sectors. They'd argue that concerns about stifling innovation are secondary to the need to protect national security and maintain economic competitiveness. They might also argue that ethical guidelines are not enough to prevent the misuse of AI and that stronger regulations are needed. So, how can we verify which of these viewpoints is more accurate? One approach is to conduct a comparative analysis of different countries' AI policies and their outcomes. We can compare the US, China, and other countries in terms of their AI investment, data access policies, regulatory frameworks, and innovation rates. This analysis can help us to identify the strengths and weaknesses of different approaches and to determine which policies are most effective at fostering innovation, promoting security, and ensuring ethical outcomes. For example, we could compare the rate of AI patent filings in different countries, or we could measure the impact of AI on economic growth and employment. This analysis would need to be rigorous and data-driven, taking into account a wide range of factors. It would also need to be updated regularly, as the AI landscape is constantly evolving. So what does all of this mean for the future of AI policy? It means that we need to have a more nuanced and strategic approach. We need to move beyond the simplistic assumptions that have guided our policy in the past, and we need to develop a more sophisticated understanding of the challenges and opportunities that AI presents. We need to foster open innovation while also protecting our national security. We need to balance data access with privacy and ethical considerations. And we need to find a better balance between public and private investment. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's up to us to shape it. We need to have a serious conversation about the values that we want to embed in AI, and we need to ensure that AI is used in a way that benefits everyone. This is not just a technical challenge, it's a societal challenge. It requires the collaboration of policymakers, researchers, industry leaders, and the public. The stakes are high, and the time to act is now. What do you think? Are we on the right track? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the world of AI. Thanks for watching.